Have you ever wondered why the more you chase someone, the less they seem to value you? Why do people suddenly become interested only after you stop seeking their attention? According to Stoicism, this isn't a coincidence. It is a timeless law of human nature. Every time you beg for approval, you surrender a piece of your power. Every time you refuse to chase, you reclaim it. Marcus Aurelius believed that a person's worth is never determined by who chooses to stay or who decides to leave. Your value exists long before anyone recognizes it. The problem is that most people spend their entire lives trying to convince others that they deserve love, respect, and attention. They believe that if they give more, sacrifice more, and chase harder, they will finally become important. But Stoicism teaches the exact opposite. The more desperately you seek validation, the more invisible your true strength becomes. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever waited for someone's message, constantly checked your phone, replayed conversations in your mind, or changed yourself just to keep someone from walking away? Almost everyone has. And every single time, the result is the same. Anxiety grows, confidence disappears, peace slowly slips away. Not because the other person took it from you, but because you handed it over without realizing it. Epictetus warned that suffering begins the moment we try to control what was never ours to control. You cannot control another person's feelings. You cannot force loyalty. You cannot demand respect. And you certainly cannot make someone value you by sacrificing your own dignity. The only thing that truly belongs to you is your character, your choices, and the discipline with which you face every situation. Ironically, the people who command the most respect are usually the ones who never chase it. They don't beg for attention. They don't argue to prove their worth. They don't run after people who have already decided to leave. Instead, they invest that energy in becoming stronger, wiser, and more peaceful. That quiet confidence speaks louder than desperation ever could. In today's world, we are constantly told to seek more followers, more approval, more recognition, and more acceptance. But Stoicism asks a different question. What if the secret to becoming truly unstoppable is not gaining more, but needing less? What if real freedom begins the moment you stop asking the world for permission to feel valuable? In this video, you'll discover 9 powerful Stoic lessons that will help you stop chasing people, protect your self-respect, master emotional detachment, and become impossible to manipulate. Stay with me until the end, because the final lesson has the power to completely change the way you see relationships and the way the world sees you. The first Stoic lesson is simple, yet incredibly difficult to practice. Stop begging for attention. Every time you chase someone's approval, you unknowingly tell them that your happiness depends on their response. The moment your peace is controlled by another person's actions, you have already given away your freedom. Seneca believed that a wise person is satisfied with their own character before seeking the admiration of others. This doesn't mean becoming cold or avoiding relationships. It means refusing to build your self-worth on someone else's opinion. There is a profound difference between appreciating love and depending on it. Appreciation gives you gratitude. Dependence creates fear. Think about how many people lose themselves trying to keep someone interested. They text first every time. They apologize even when they did nothing wrong. They tolerate disrespect because they are terrified of being left behind. At first, these actions may seem like kindness or loyalty, but over time they slowly become acts of self-abandonment. Every compromise made against your own dignity leaves a scar that no one else can see. Human nature is strange. People often value what appears confident and emotionally secure. When someone constantly seeks validation, they unintentionally communicate insecurity. But when someone remains calm, respects themselves, and refuses to beg for attention, they create an invisible sense of strength that others naturally notice. This is not manipulation. It is simply confidence expressed through actions instead of words. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that no person has the power to diminish your worth unless you hand them that authority. Imagine standing in front of a mirror every morning and asking yourself a simple question. Am I becoming the kind of person I would respect? If the answer is yes, then the opinions of others become far less important. If the answer is no, then your focus should be on improving yourself, not chasing approval. The strongest people understand that attention, earned through authenticity, lasts far longer than attention gained through desperation. They know that forcing connections only creates temporary closeness, while genuine respect grows naturally over time. The less you beg to be noticed, the more your presence begins to speak for itself. And yet stopping the chase is only the beginning, because even after you stop seeking attention, one powerful habit can still keep you emotionally trapped. The Stoics warned about it centuries ago, and it becomes our second lesson. The second Stoic lesson is one that can instantly free your mind. Accept that not everyone is meant to stay in your life. One of the greatest causes of emotional suffering is believing that every relationship must last forever. We cling to people, memories, and expectations as if letting go means losing a part of ourselves. But the Stoics saw life differently. They understood that everything in nature changes, and relationships are no exception. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that nothing in this world is permanent. Seasons change, empires rise and fall. Even our own lives are temporary. If change is the natural order of the universe, why do we expect people to remain exactly as they are forever? The pain doesn't come from change itself. It comes from resisting it. Many people spend months, even years, trying to rebuild relationships that have already reached their natural end. They replay old conversations, search for hidden meanings, and wonder what they could have done differently. But sometimes the answer is painfully simple. The chapter has ended. No amount of chasing can force another page to appear. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze it, the faster it slips through your fingers. Relationships work in much the same way. The harder you try to control someone, the more distant they often become. Yet when your hands remain open, you stop living in fear of losing what was never yours to possess. Epictetus taught that we should appreciate people while they are with us, but never treat them as permanent possessions. Every person enters your life for a reason, a lesson, or a season. Some will inspire you. Some will challenge you. Others will teach you what self-respect truly means. Their purpose is not always to stay. Sometimes their purpose is to help you become the person you were meant to be. This doesn't mean closing your heart or refusing to care. It means learning to love without attachment. It means understanding that your peace cannot depend on someone else's decision to remain. The moment you stop fearing loss, you become emotionally stronger than most people will ever understand. But accepting that people leave is only half the battle. The real transformation begins when you stop trying to convince anyone to recognize your worth. And that brings us to the third Stoic lesson, the lesson that quietly changes the way the world begins to see you. The third Stoic lesson is perhaps the most important of them all. Protect your self-respect even if it means walking away alone. Many people believe that losing someone is the greatest pain they can experience. But the Stoics understood a deeper truth. The greatest loss is losing yourself while trying to keep someone else. Every time you tolerate disrespect, ignore your own boundaries, or remain in a place where you are constantly undervalued, you send yourself a dangerous message. My dignity is worth less than their approval. Over time, this belief quietly destroys confidence from within. You may still smile on the outside, but inside, you begin to question your own value. Seneca warned that no relationship is worth sacrificing your character. A wise person would rather stand alone with integrity than be surrounded by people who demand the price of their self-respect. This is not pride, it is wisdom. There is a profound difference between making compromises out of kindness and abandoning yourself out of fear. Think about a tree standing in the middle of a storm. The wind may bend its branches, rain may strike its leaves, but its roots remain firmly planted in the ground. That is exactly how your self-respect should be. Life will test you, people will disappoint you, some will misunderstand your silence, while others will mistake your kindness for weakness. But if your values remain deeply rooted, no storm can truly break you. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the opinion of others is nothing more than sound, passing through the air. It only becomes powerful when you allow it to enter your mind. Imagine how much energy people waste trying to explain themselves to those who have already decided not to understand them. The Stoic does not waste that energy. Instead, they focus on living in a way that requires no constant defense. Walking away is never easy. It may feel lonely at first. You may question your decision. But every step taken to protect your dignity is a step toward becoming stronger than the version of yourself that once accepted less than you deserved. Peace often begins where people-pleasing ends. And once you learn to protect your self-respect, another challenge appears. You must stop allowing emotions to control every decision you make. That is the fourth lesson, and it is where true inner strength begins. The fourth Stoic lesson is one that separates ordinary people from truly powerful ones. Master your emotions before they master you. Most people believe strength is about winning arguments, proving others wrong or reacting with force. The Stoics believe the opposite. Real strength is remaining calm when your emotions are begging you to lose control. Think about how many decisions are made in moments of anger, jealousy, fear, or loneliness. A single emotional reaction can destroy years of trust. One impulsive message can end a meaningful relationship. One desperate attempt to hold on to someone can push them even further away. The greatest battles are rarely fought with other people. They are fought within your own mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These words remind us that while we cannot choose how others behave, we can always choose how we respond. That choice is where freedom begins. Imagine standing beside a vast ocean during a violent storm. Massive waves crash against the shore. But beneath the surface, the deep water remains calm and steady. Your mind should become like that ocean. Emotions will always rise. Anger will appear. Disappointment will visit. Loneliness will whisper in your ear. But none of these emotions should become the captain of your life. They are visitors, not rulers. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. Stoicism never teaches emotional numbness. Instead, it teaches emotional discipline. Notice what you feel. Accept it without judgment. Then ask yourself one powerful question. Will acting on this emotion make my life better tomorrow? Most of the time, the answer is no. People who manipulate others often rely on emotional reactions. They expect you to become angry, desperate, or defensive because emotional people are easier to control. But when you remain calm, you break that pattern completely. Your silence becomes stronger than an argument. Your patience becomes more powerful than revenge. And your self-control becomes something no one can take away from you. Every moment you choose wisdom over impulse, you become a little stronger. Every time you pause before reacting, you reclaim another piece of your inner peace. Over weeks, months, and years, those small victories transform your entire character. But emotional control alone is not enough. There is another invisible habit that keeps many people trapped, even after they master their emotions. It is the constant need to explain themselves to everyone. The Stoics considered this one of the greatest wastes of energy, and that is our fifth lesson. The fifth Stoic lesson is one that most people learn far too late. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are without feeling the need to convince anyone else. The moment you constantly defend every decision, justify every action, or seek everyone's understanding, you hand over your peace to people who may never intend to understand you in the first place. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He believed that your actions should speak so clearly, that your words become unnecessary. A person who lives with integrity has very little to prove. They do not waste precious energy arguing with those who have already made up their minds. Instead, they let time reveal the truth. Think about how often people misunderstand others. Sometimes they judge your silence as arrogance. Sometimes they mistake your kindness for weakness. Other times, they create stories about you without knowing anything about your life. You cannot control these opinions, and chasing every misunderstanding is like trying to stop the wind with your bare hands. The more you fight every false assumption, the more exhausted you become. Imagine a mountain standing beneath dark clouds. The storm may rage around it, thunder may shake the sky, strong winds may strike its surface. Yet the mountain never argues with the weather. It never tries to prove its strength. It simply remains where it is. Over time, the storm passes, but the mountain remains unchanged. This is the kind of inner stability Stoicism asks us to develop. Epictetus reminded his students that if someone speaks badly about you, your first responsibility is not to defend your image. Your responsibility is to examine your own character. If the criticism is true, improve yourself. If it is false, let it pass like an echo fading into silence. Either way, endless arguments achieve very little. Many people spend years trying to correct every opinion others have about them. But the wisest people understand that reputation is temporary, while character is permanent. You may never control what others believe, but you will always control the person you become. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, something remarkable happens. Your confidence becomes quieter, your mind becomes lighter, and your actions begin to carry more weight than your words ever could. People start noticing the strength that no speech can create. But there is one final trap that still keeps many people emotionally dependent. It is the habit of seeking happiness outside themselves. The Stoics believed true freedom begins only when you break that habit, and that is our sixth lesson. The sixth Stoic lesson is the foundation of true freedom. Stop searching for happiness in people and start building it within yourself. Most people spend their lives believing that the next relationship, the next promotion, or the next compliment will finally make them feel complete. But every time happiness depends on something outside your control, your peace becomes fragile. The Stoics understood a truth that many people never discover. Lasting happiness is not something you find. It is something you create through your thoughts, your habits, and your character. If your joy depends entirely on another person's presence, then their absence will always have the power to break you. Imagine carrying a lantern through a dark forest. Most people spend their lives searching for someone else to hold that light for them. They hope another person will guide them, comfort them, and give their life meaning. But the Stoics believed that every individual must learn to carry their own lantern. When your light comes from within, no one else's departure can leave you in darkness. Seneca once wrote that the greatest wealth is to need very little. This idea extends far beyond money. The less you depend on external approval, constant attention, or endless validation, the more peaceful your life becomes. You stop living in fear of rejection because your happiness is no longer borrowed from someone else. This does not mean isolating yourself or refusing to love others. Stoicism never teaches emotional distance for its own sake. It teaches emotional independence. Love people sincerely, appreciate their presence, but never make them the foundation of your identity. Relationships should add joy to your life, not become the only reason you feel alive. Look closely at the people who seem unshakable. They enjoy success without becoming arrogant. They face loss without falling apart. They remain grateful during good times and composed during difficult ones. Their strength comes from within, not from circumstances. They understand that peace is an inside job. The day you stop expecting others to complete you is the day you begin to experience real freedom. You no longer chase affection out of fear. You choose relationships out of genuine connection. And that quiet shift changes everything. But there is still one habit capable of stealing your peace. Even after you've learned to find happiness within yourself, it is the habit of giving your time and energy to those who never truly value it. The Stoics considered time to be life's most precious possession. And that brings us to the seventh lesson. The seventh Stoic lesson is one that can completely transform your life. Guard your time and your energy as if they were your most valuable possessions. Because they are. Most people think money is their greatest asset. But the Stoics believed something far more precious was constantly slipping away: time. Once a moment is gone, no amount of wealth, success, or regret can ever bring it back. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that every sunrise was another opportunity that would never return. Yet look at how easily people give their time away. They spend hours chasing those who never appreciate them, worrying about opinions that will be forgotten tomorrow, and trying to fix relationships that have already ended. They sacrifice their peace for people who wouldn't sacrifice a single moment for them. Imagine owning a beautiful garden. Every day, you carefully water the flowers, remove the weeds, and protect the soil. Now imagine allowing strangers to walk through that garden, pulling out the flowers and leaving behind nothing but damage. Eventually, there would be nothing left to grow. Your mind works the same way. Every unnecessary argument, every toxic relationship, and every desperate pursuit steals energy that could have been invested in building a better version of yourself. Seneca wrote that people carefully protect their money, yet they waste time as if it has no value. How often do we give our attention to those who constantly disrespect us while ignoring the goals that could change our future? Every minute spent begging for someone's attention is a minute stolen from your own growth. The strongest people understand a simple truth. Not everyone deserves access to your time. Just because someone wants your attention doesn't mean they have earned it. Every yes you give to the wrong person is often a no to your own peace, your dreams, and your purpose. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or emotionally unavailable. It means becoming intentional. Invest your time where there is mutual respect. Give your energy to people who inspire growth instead of creating chaos. Protect your focus from distractions that add nothing to your life. Every wise decision about your time is an investment in the person you are becoming. When you stop wasting energy on what cannot be changed, something extraordinary happens. Your mind becomes clearer. your confidence grows stronger, and the life you once chased slowly begins to move toward you. But there is still one final step before becoming truly unstoppable. It is the ability to walk away without anger, without resentment, and without looking back. The Stoics believed this was the highest form of emotional freedom, and that is our 8th lesson. The 8th Stoic lesson is one that very few people ever truly master. Learn to walk away without hatred. Most people believe that strength means getting even, proving a point, or making others regret losing them. But Stoicism teaches a far greater form of power. Real strength is leaving with your dignity intact, without carrying bitterness in your heart. When someone disappoints you, betrays your trust, or chooses to walk a different path, your first instinct is often to hold on. If that fails, anger usually takes its place. You replay every conversation. Imagine what you should have said, and secretly hope they will one day realize what they lost. But while you are trapped in those thoughts, they continue living their life. The only person still carrying the weight is you. Marcus Aurelius believed that resentment is like drinking poison while expecting someone else to suffer. Every moment spent feeding anger only gives the past more power over your present. The Stoic understands that forgiveness is not always about the other person. More often, it is about freeing your own mind. Imagine a traveler carrying a heavy chain across a long journey. With every step, the chain becomes more exhausting, slowing them down until they can barely move. Hatred works the same way. It feels justified at first, but over time it becomes a burden you carry everywhere. The person who hurt you may never feel its weight, but you will carry it every single day unless you choose to let it go. This does not mean pretending that betrayal never happened or allowing people to repeat the same behavior. Stoicism is not about becoming naive. It is about setting clear boundaries without allowing bitterness to control your heart. You can leave a relationship, end a friendship, or distance yourself from someone while still protecting your inner peace. Epictetus taught that another person's actions reveal their character, but your response reveals yours. You cannot always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose the kind of person you become because of it. That choice is where true freedom lives. The moment you stop seeking revenge and start choosing peace, you take back something priceless, your energy. No longer wasted on anger, it can now be invested in growth, purpose, and a better future. Walking away without hatred is not weakness. It is proof that your peace has become more valuable than your pride. And now we arrive at the final lesson. It is the lesson that ties everything together, the mindset that makes a person truly unstoppable, no matter who stays, who leaves, or what life throws in their path. The 9th and final Stoic lesson is the one that transforms everything. Become someone you never have to chase for acceptance, because your life already reflects your value. The greatest mistake most people make is believing that becoming unstoppable means changing the world around them. But Stoicism teaches that true transformation begins by changing yourself. Imagine two people entering the same room. One desperately tries to impress everyone. They speak louder, seek approval, and constantly worry about how they are being perceived. The other person says very little. They remain calm, confident, and completely comfortable with who they are. Surprisingly, it is often the second person who earns the greatest respect. Why? Because confidence is never announced. It is quietly demonstrated. Marcus Aurelius spent his life reminding himself that every day was another opportunity to become wiser than yesterday. He did not wake up asking, "Who will admire me today?" He asked, "How can I become a better human being today?" That single shift in focus changes everything. When your attention moves from chasing people to improving your character, your entire life begins to move in a different direction. Think about the strongest people you know. They are not respected because they demanded attention. They are respected because they built discipline when others chose comfort. They remained honest when lying was easier. They stayed calm when everyone else reacted emotionally. Their reputation became the natural result of their character, not the goal they were desperately trying to achieve. The Stoics believed that your life should become your message. Let your discipline speak louder than your promises. Let your actions speak louder than your opinions. Let your peace become louder than your anger. And let your character become so strong that whether people stay or leave no longer determines your happiness. One day, you will realize something extraordinary. The people you once chased are no longer the center of your thoughts. The validation you once begged for no longer matters. You wake up with purpose instead of anxiety. You protect your peace instead of protecting your image. You no longer fear being alone because you have become someone whose greatest strength comes from within. That is what it truly means to be unstoppable. So the next time you feel the urge to chase someone, pause for a moment and ask yourself one simple question. Am I chasing them? Or am I walking away from the person I was meant to become? Choose yourself. Protect your peace. Build your character every single day. Because the moment you stop chasing people, you finally begin attracting the life you deserve. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the Stoic Edge and continue this journey toward mastering your mind. Remember, the strongest person in the room is rarely the loudest. It is the one who has mastered themselves.